On December 21st is the last and one of the most important full moons of 2020. Today I'm going to be going over the top 5 things that you need to know about the Cancer full moon this December. Welcome back, beautiful souls, to the channel. I'm Shika, your conscious mentor, and today I'm going to be deep diving into an energy update of what to expect on the December 29th Cancer full moon in December 2020 and how it's going to affect you. This year has been a crazy year, and if you can agree, put a star emoji down below in the comment section to let me know. But I have a lot of updates that I need to let you guys know so you know why this full moon is the most important full moon, considering that we are in winter solstice season. So before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe, as well as put notification bells. I do 3 or more videos every single week for you beautiful souls. And on the 29th of December, we're actually meeting back here for a meditation energy healing as well. So if you feel called to come join, or maybe you've attended one of them before, come and join us for our last full moon live YouTube meditation energy healing at 9 p.m. Eastern time on December 29th. And don't forget also, today's subscriber of the day is Olivia. Thank you so much for being part of the community. I can't stress enough how grateful I am for each and every one of you. I can't believe it's the end of 2020. Like, we're coming to the end, and it's been such a beautiful journey to have you guys be part of that, to be part of your spiritual growth, to be your conscious mentor, and to see you grow. There's just so much that comes upon the horizon in the next months and the next year of 2021 and beyond. So let's get into the video. The first thing that I will say is the Cancer has a lot of emotions that come through, and these aren't only emotions relatable to December, it is relatable to all of 2020, which brings me to my first point. Emotions are intense. A lot of you might feel like your mental health has to be the most important thing this month. Coming up to the 29th, you might feel a little peaks and waves of emotions, maybe happiness, sadness coming through. And the question to ask yourself during the Cancer full moon, December 21st, is what are these emotions telling me about this year and my shadow work and my soul purpose? What are these emotions telling me about what has happened over the course of this year? And is there anything that I have been ignoring? Because again, like I said, we just had the great conjunction in Jupiter and Saturn, which only happens over every 800 years. And now we have this final full moon that's really closing the year to the next chapter. So really understand the intensity of emotions is normal, but try to be with those emotions. Try to understand not only from a micro perspective of what these emotions are telling you during this time of this month, but what are these emotions telling you in the whole year of your friendships, your relationships, and how you react. I always say, as conscious beings, we need to know the difference between reaction and response. Are we reacting out of a body pain, or are we responding to the things that we've currently went through or probably are avoiding? And this is a time of blessings for those who did the work. Your intense emotions are just showing you all the things that you've released, and universe is testing you. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for the next new chapter? It's the last lap that we're getting to. And for those who didn't do the shadow work, start planning out what that looks like. Start writing down your intentions. Start journaling what these emotions are telling you during the Cancer full moon in December. Number 2, breaking expectations and finally doing what you want to do. I know in times of uncertainty of this year, with us being at home more than usual, and a lot of you who've probably been in positions where jobs have shifted, relationships have shifted, but I want you to ask yourself this question. This whole year, what have you learned about yourself? And what is one thing, at least one thing, that you wouldn't have done if it wasn't for all of the events that happened this year? And with that being said, I want you to know that if you are watching this video right now and you're not feeling 100%, that is okay. The biggest celebration is you are here. You've made it through the year. And that is something that we need to understand. So with this point, with us talking about it, is understanding that we're breaking the expectation that we had to get done all these things that we said that we did in our journal last year, 2019. We had to get done all these, business goals, all these relationship expectations, all these job, career, life purposes, expectations. At the end of the day, as humans, we change, we shift. And during the Cancer, full moon here, it's really telling us, how have we changed throughout this year? How have we broken down the expectations? When we look at it from a collective standpoint, the expectations of us not fighting for justice. We fought for justice all throughout this year in so many levels. We've changed, governmental shifts and, just templates of what is expected in the world. We've shifted the expectation of what beauty is defined in society. We've shifted the ability of understanding that our mental health, our wellness is number one. And it might have took us to completely shut down the world for a bit, but in doing that, we finally got the answer that the universe has been trying to tell us for so long. It was almost like we had to reset from something that we were feeling a little bit, it's like having a cold and then you go to work and whatnot and you're not feeling better and you're still going to work. Well, let me just say we had a collective cold and the universe saying, you need to stay home. It's time for you to take a full dose of staying at home and relaxing. And by doing that, we were able to deep dive into what are some expectations that we actually wanted in our life and what are the expectations that we put on ourselves from our family members, from our friends, from work, and really creating energetic boundaries. So during the Cancer full moon, it's telling us emotionally moving forward. What are the emotional, energetic boundaries that we've learned, that we've created through this time, through these hardships? And what can we continue to practice into habits? And that's a huge, huge part. The other part that I wrote about is finally, doing what you want to do. This whole year's been so chaotic. There is no wrong decision at this end of point. There is no, I'm going to fail from something. No, that's not what the Cancer is telling us here. The Cancer full moon is saying that, if you had to say something to someone this year and you've been avoiding it, say it. If you've had to pull a relationship or cut something off, do it. If you had to decide, you might be getting a lot of creative downloads during this, Cancer full moon because of the emotional connection that we're getting. Write those down, those great, amazing projects that we're going to get back to later, but those big ideas and intentions and manifestations that you want, in your vision, your mental vision board, do that. But at this point, during the Cancer full moon, you are feeling ready for something different. You are feeling ready for something new. And just make sure to remind yourself that we're not going to go back on our word. We're going to take it full force no matter what we can't see ahead, and just know that it is exactly what is meant to be. Number 3, this one I can't stress enough. Work on your relationship with money and finances. A lot of you, if there's anything with this year, people have been resetted. Things have been, balanced out throughout the universe. And again, I really think that in the end of this, it's going to come back from a collective standpoint, not as one country, but as a whole global community base. Moving forward after this whole year, we're going to move into this energetic collective mindset. We're going to think of ourselves beyond just us as a being, but everyone and our neighbors. And this brings me to the third one, working on our relationships with money and finances and abundance. A lot of you who've been avoiding some financial discussions with yourself, or noticing that you're ending the year maybe in a space that you are feeling lack of, well, it's time to break those beliefs. It's time to break those ancestral beliefs, because I always say as conscious beings, we learn our relationship with money from our family, from our environment and the things around us. However, we have to understand that those things shift and change. If you were a kid that had it rough and had to hustle, and I was talking to one of your subscribers here, and I know this is going to relate to a lot of you guys, but one of them were saying that, Shika, back in my day, I didn't even know if I could eat food. And one thing that she told me is, we had to possibly eat, dog food sometimes. And one thing I want to share with you guys is that you're not at that point anymore. Even though it's uncertain right now, even if you are at that point where food is something that you think about when you go to sleep or at night, it's time to shift that mindset. Because if we come from a space of lack, even if we have lack around us, that's all we're going to know. That's all we're going to create. Some great things to do during this, full moon in Cancer is to emotionally connect with ourselves of what do we see money as? What is our relationship with money? How can we shift our relationship with money? How can we understand that money has no existence unless we put a definition of what it's exchanged for? If I go to a store and I exchange for a granola bar for $2, it's the energy of the granola bar that is putting into my body. That is what I'm really exchanging about. It has nothing to do with the $2. And that's where we have to understand, with this uncertainty of this year, with the huge shift economically, like on all levels of our energy, we had to understand that money is one thing, but if you are in a job that you don't like, and this year, it pulled it away from you, well, that was probably the biggest blessing that you needed, because then it allowed you to start your business. Then it allowed you to go back to school and finally do the thing that you wanted to do, but you had all these expectations and judgment, like the point 2 that I mentioned, that was in your mind right now. So now we're completely shutting that off. We're completely reinventing ourselves. And especially after the Great Conjunction, where we had a reset of the universe, reset of karmic, reset of everything that we've had through this year. It's just like a whole blank slate. Now it's like we have no one to blame but our conscious being, our conscious self. And now it's time for you to choose. Am I going to choose to be an abundant soul? I want you to type in the comments down below, I am an abundant soul and money flows to me easily and quickly, because it does. And you need to understand that you decide that on a day-to-day basis, on a being basis, and really work on your relationship with money, whether that is money tapping, understanding money, making a money jar. There's so many ways to do that. And I do have some videos in my manifestation playlist that you can check out to help you manifest money. Number 4, what's next? What is next? And I know a lot of you are looking at me saying, Shika, I don't even know what's next right now. And that is completely fine. But I will tell you this. The Cancer full moon on December 29th is going to tell you what's next. Whether it is a sign from your guides, the universe, or even yourself, you need to know what is going on next. And how can you establish that if you don't know? Start to journal about how you see yourself in the next year. This is a perfect time to create that manifestation energy, to work with our chi energy and our sacral energy, and to really align with that and do some sacral energy, practices. Yes, especially with abundance, we want to work with that and our solar plexus. So there's a lot of energy in the stomach area or gut area that's going to really help us during this time. The other thing that you want to do with this time is making sure that we are understanding what is next from a visual standpoint. So create a new vision board. If you have your old vision board, it's time to revamp it. It's time to change it up. And again, remember, release those limiting beliefs that the expectations of what is going on around you is going to define what is your reality right now. I want you to pretend and this is my favorite question. If you knew you were 100% supported, what would you put on that visual board? And put that vision board and believe in it and create that manifestation. Allow yourself to manage your energy and know that this is your life and this is your intention, your new beginning that you're creating. During the Cancer full moon, we're feeling a lot of new starts, a lot of ready to go to the next step. So keep cultivating that manifestation energy by creating a vision board, by scripting, by journaling, by visualization meditations, by making sure that you are around people that are going to help you create that and cultivate that energy and are also in that alignment with you. This is how you start your year to make sure that 2020 will not repeat. And that is why this full moon is so powerful. A lot of you will be tested. Will you repeat 2020's lessons, or will you finally get the blessings that you're meant to and learned everything and go into 2021 with a whole new, perspective, energy, and ready to prevail everything that's with you. If you made it this year, you already made it. So that means that whatever is divinely yours that you're putting on that vision board is yours. So just keep on going. Number 5, my last and final thing is that past life karmic. You guys know that I'm all about that. I do energy healing. That's what I focus on for a lot of my mentorees. And I will say that with the conjunction ripening our energy and our reflection on past life and karmic coming through, I want you to also understand that all the ancestral work you did this year, your ancestors are going to say thank you. You're going to see that come in so much abundance. And I can't stress enough, when we do shadow work, when we do energetic work, especially on an emotional level, whether it's relationships with our family members during this year, because we finally found out how crazy this year has been. And it's been crazy for everyone, even for the family members that you don't get along with, for the friends that you don't get along with the circumstances, the people, the energies, your mental health, whatever it may have you. We're all in a standpoint at the end of the day. We all have our own battles. But at the end of the day, we're also all the same. There's no one who has more or less. It's all equally the same battle. And here you're going to be getting so many blessings, so many confirmations that you did everything you were supposed to this year. And for those who didn't do the ancestral work and were avoiding it, let me tell you, make that scripture of what you're committing to do in the new year. Because I don't want you going into repeating this ancestral lesson again for the next generation, the generation before and after you. And it's so important to do that. So really understand what are the emotional wounds that you need to break in this time. And for those who've been working on yourself, well, guess what? It's a celebration. It's a celebration, an emotional celebration with Cancer and Sagittarius during this month, aligning with us on, our soul work. We're changing things, we're changing systems, we're changing the way that our traditions have to be. We're creating it on a different level for the current generation, what's to come. I can't stress enough, all the work you're doing is going to shift this world like a whole 360 in 5 years from now. And that's what this whole start of 2020 is about. 2020 is the universe telling us it's time. It's time for us to work as a collective, to work and do the shadow work, to break these traditional barriers. And that's what this full moon's all about. It's a celebration for a new age, I won't even say new age, let's change that energetic word, a new society, a new perspective, a new opening of connection with humanity that we haven't had for so many years and probably haven't had to this extent ever. So I want to say thank you for doing all the work that you're doing, because this is a celebration during this Cancer full moon. And I want you to take all the points that I shared with you today and really go into this full moon with energy, with just an amazing mindset, and be prepared, because you're ready and you made it. And no matter what your circumstances are right now, you're exactly where you need to be, and you have done the work. So, we're always going to continue doing shadow work. People always ask me, Shika, when's shadow work done? It's never done. We keep doing the work. But when we do the work, we see a lot of growth every single time. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video on the top 5 things that you need to know about the December full moon in Cancer on the 29th of December. We are going to be having a meditation energy healing back here. So if you've been to them, you guys already know this one's going to be very powerful. And I will say, because we're in the soulless energy. So as we enter into Aquarius, I want you to come join me on December 29th at 9 p.m. Eastern time here live for meditation energy healing. And let me know in the comment section if you're coming. Share with friends, family. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like and subscribe, put notification bells so you do not miss any more of my moon and full moon energy updates, manifestation energy updates, shadow work, all the things to help you be a conscious soul. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. See you on the 29th.